It would seem as though.
Hi, it's me.
It would seem as though it's fucking freezing.
Bruh. Girl, it is so cold outside. Honestly, I could die.
I know I just came in from outside and it is like a degree, I think. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It says that it's like 36, but with the wind chill, it is 27 degrees. And you have found us at yet another week at It Would Seem As Though, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Mostly nothing.
I know today we started talking about the weather, so it's about as nothing as it can get.
Well, and honestly, today we didn't even have a topic today.
We don't have a topic, so who knows what's happening today? Who knows where it's going to go?
Literally be nothing.
I know. I'm Vesta.
I'm Annika. Mostly frozen. Mostly frozen.
Let it go.
No, girl, not that.
No, I know. I'm trying to remember whose pod I was listening to the other day, and they said they got in trouble for singing. Oh, it was Trixie and Katya. Oh. They said they got in trouble for singing because they didn't have the rights to the song that they were singing. It's like, well, that's why you don't do more than like a couple words, and then you can't get in trouble. Of course, I guess you can get in trouble.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know.
Like they're going to demonetize us. Oh no!
Oh no! The 50 cents we've earned.
Right? I don't even think it's that much.
Oh,
so
wow.
I mean, we've been doing our pod now this is episode 44. And,
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and it costs me $20 a month to just use this app and whatever, and I have gotten one payment of $10. So,
oh my god,
we're in the negative by quite a bit, but it's okay. But again, don't care.
Yeah,
it's not why we're here. We're not here to make money. We're here to have fun and talk.
We just did this mostly so we could hang out and talk shit.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, people listening.
Yes, people.
All of our big listeners.
So it's the holiday season. The holidays are coming up. Mm-hmm. Mostly, I mean, the next one coming up, I don't give a shit about because I don't care about Thanksgiving. Mostly because it's colonizer holiday.
I need to tell you something.
What?
Yes. I just have the radio on when I drive to and from work because it's not a very long ride. Yeah. I'm not going to put on my Bluetooth. It's just like a lot of work and I don't want to at 4 a.m. So I'm on my way to work. No, I'm on my way home from work and the radio's on. It was a commercial. Who cares what it was for? But it was talking about Thanksgiving and it was talking about November and how it's the month of being grateful and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. If that's what we're going with, fine, whatever. But the story of Thanksgiving is bullshit. But they said, it was like, what are you thankful for? And one man was like, I'm thankful for the Pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock. And I said, girl, what did you just say?
I'm like, I'm thankful for the colonizers who came over and murdered everyone.
The genocide, the warfare. I'm grateful.
I am so grateful for genocide. I'm like, when I heard that, I was shocked. I was like, you're grateful for that?
I know. And that's like the first thing they said.
Because,
I was like,
had they not come here, you would have still happened. You'd have just happened in another country.
Girl, the indigenous urge to drive my car off a bridge. I'm not anywhere near a bridge, but you know what I mean. It's insane. Yeah. I was like, that's the first thing they're going to say in this economy?
Right. Well, and the fact that they put it into their little clip of the different things people said, because I would have definitely been like, we're going to leave this one out.
Yeah, right?
I mean, and why is just November the only month that you're supposed to be thankful? Because Thanksgiving happens in November? Like, you're not, the rest of the year you're supposed to be an ingrate?
Yeah, so I fucking hate you all.
11 months you're like, fuck everybody, I don't care, I don't like anybody, nothing.
No.
But 1 month out of the year you're like, I'm so grateful.
You know what? You're all right. I'm loving all of you.
I'm grateful,
especially the Pilgrims.
For the Pilgrims.
I know. I'm like,
and their fashion.
I'm like, what a stupid fucking thing to be grateful for. Are you kidding me? There's nothing else in your life to be grateful for but Pilgrims? Girl, I swear to God.
Well, they were fashion plates with their giant belt buckles and their ridiculous collars and...
I love their buckle shoes, girl. I thought that look went out with Plymouth Rock, girl. I can't handle that.
No, I mean, but that's just, that to me was just so, tone deaf for the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you said that, 40 years ago, okay.
People would be like, oh my God, Christopher Columbus, or whatever.
Well, and that's the other thing. Let's just, dive into that for a minute. Christopher Columbus, what did he discover? Nothing. He never even set foot on this continent.
Even, let me say something. Even if he did, where he did step foot, like the Caribbean, girl, let me tell you something. He didn't discover it. You know what I mean? It's been there. People lived there. It's always been there. He just was like, oh, we didn't know about it because we stupid fucking Europeans.
Well, and he didn't even go where he was intending to go. Because he was trying to make a shortcut kind of trade
to like India.
Route. Yeah, to India. And it's like, you really took a wrong turn, dude.
Yeah. He thought, if I just keep going this way, girl, I'm going to hit India. And then he hit an entire... something. He hit a couple islands and called it a continent.
Right. Well, and the other thing about him is, you know, he was very much a slave trader. He was... but it was also, you know, like young girls. His whole thing was, I mean, he was a thief. Mm-hmm. He was a slave trader. He was a no good. I was like, and clearly not even a good sailor. If he couldn't, it was like, you were supposed to go east. He's stupid.
Yeah. Well, and he was like sent back to Spain in chains.
Yeah.
Like not enslaved, but they like arrested him. They sent him back in chains because he was a horrible person. So then we created this whole holiday being like Christopher Columbus. But why? Because he was Italian. And remember, there's that whole thing where how Italians and Irish people became white people, you know, because before they were like ethnic minorities. Well, Columbus was created specifically because he was Italian, and it was to bring Italian pride into America. Isn't that stupid?
It is.
You
stupid.
chose that loser.
And so now, all these years later, people just think, well, we've always had Columbus Day. No, it hasn't even been around that long, and it wasn't created really with anything to do with him, other than the fact that they used his name and said, "Oh, he discovered America. That's why America's named after him." Oh wait,
yeah, right. I can't deal with it. It's so frustrating. That's the other thing.
It's like, how do you discover? It's like, oh, I came to your house and discovered your furniture, and now it's mine. I claimed it in my name.
Because it's like Columbus Day rules. You're at a grocery store, someone drops their wallet, you're all mine now, and they're like, no, that's not how that works. And you just stab them. And guess what? It's yours now.
I discovered your wallet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you left it there. It's like, well, you stole it out of my purse. That's not the point, really. It was in the free trade shopping cart.
Yeah, the free trade shopping cart.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, if you're going by that whole, you know, who discovered what, it's like the indigenous folks discovered this land when they came here from
a million years ago.
Yeah, a million years ago.
Like a million years ago.
Right, but they were like, came to this land, it was like, hey, cool place.
I'm sure that's how it worked.
They were like, wow, this is so cool. Mm-hmm. Well, if you think about where they came in, it was really cool because they came in very cool. In Alaska.
Yeah, that little land bridge.
And I wonder if they got there and they were like, keep moving. It is too fucking cold here. Keep going. Well, but maybe it'll warm up on the other side.
But girl, the Inuit people, there's indigenous people of the Great North who live in the Arctic. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
But... And because I see little TikToks or, you know, I'm really into indigeneity. So I've looked up a lot of, like, cultural things about the Sami people of, like, Scandinavia or the Inuit people who live in the Arctic of, like, Alaska and Canada. And just the lifestyle is so interesting to me because of, like, you bury your food a lot of the time to keep it frozen. Like, they basically, because it's all ice, right? Yeah. And they have, like, permafrost. They're able to, like, they don't need refrigeration because they got it, you know? It's just crazy, the things that they do, but it's fascinating to me. I love it. And it still survives, which I think is a testament to the people, you know?
Well, yeah, of course. My whole thought, though, is like, it would just be too cold for me.
Oh, yeah, I would.
Because I'm a big baby.
Die. Well, that's why they go out wearing, like, layers and fur and, skin and leather. I would still be dead, though. On the same vein, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and he asked me, are there any places in the world that haven't been colonized? Full stop. And I said, I don't think so. Genuinely, I don't think so. Because think of, like, ancient Rome. Ancient Rome took over, like, most of Europe.
Yeah.
Took over a huge swath of, like, Southeast Europe, Southwest Europe, Northern Europe, just took over everything.
Because the Roman Empire became gigantic before it crashed.
Right. And so I don't know that if we rephrase it and say, has there been anywhere in the world that hasn't been colonized by Europe? Yes, there are plenty of places. But colonization and, like, imperialism, no, it's gone on for a long time. It looked different before. before we had planes and like ships and whatever.
I think that really the only place is the island that we talked about a couple weeks ago, where
North Senegalese Island.
Yeah, you're not allowed there.
Well, no, because there are other places, and this is what I thought of. Like in the Amazon, there's like untouched acres of the Amazon where indigenous people live, but they've never met anyone outside of.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and like obviously you can't study them very well because if you're never there, you can't fly. You can't like fly over. Some places are like a no-fly zone, so indigenous tribes don't witness planes and helicopters and shit to keep them safe.
Like Disneyland. It's a no-fly zone.
No-fly zone, girl. Don't do it.
I said that at work one day, and one of the people was like, that is not true. And I go, it's most definitely true. You're not supposed to fly over Disneyland.
I guess
because part of the whole illusion of Disneyland is that when you're there, you're completely immersed in this land.
Yeah.
Which is why you can't see the parking lot.
Yeah.
You can't see the streets. You can't see anything. All you can see is Disneyland. Even in the higher up rides, all yours now. Not the same for California Adventure.
Right.
When you're over there are a couple places where you're like, oh, I can see the outside.
Oh, like I'm in Anaheim.
Oh my God, I see the mean streets of LA all the way from here. Yeah. But yeah, in Disneyland, you're not supposed to really be able to see anything outside.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love that so much. There's like other things I love about Disney. One of the things I love the most is just how, my big thing is like authenticity. Like if you're going to dress up or decorate or something, like make it look authentic. Disney, everything is done. Everything looks realistic. Everything looks you just walked in a world that Walt Disney created. Like it's crazy.
That's one of the things that I love Disneyland, as you well know. Been there a bajillion times.
Right.
One of the things that I love is everything is thought about. You go into a ride, and now, of course, they create these queue areas that have the landscape or whatever that's supposed to look like wherever you are.
Yeah.
Because the new Star Wars, that whole land is amazing.
I haven't seen it.
It's amazing because you look like you're on some planet, and I'm going to be the first to say I don't know what the planets are. Tatooine is the only one I know.
Okay, that's the only one I know.
So I'm going to say every planet in the Star Wars is Tatooine.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So there could be 400 planets, and they're all Tatooine. They're all in that one bar on that one planet with all the weird creatures. Anyway, but when you're walking around in there, it is so immersive that even the employees, the cast members, they don't call them employees, even the cast members will say and do things that are appropriate for the place. Like when we were there trying to get you a souvenir with Jar Jar Binks, and one of the cast members said to me, I'm sorry, but he doesn't actually exist yet. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
She goes, in this timeline, in this place, there's no such creature. And I was like, now is that wishful thinking because y'all hated it? But it is, like, as you're walking through the big new ride, and I think it's called The Phantom Menace, maybe? Something, or that's the movie, right? I don't know. Whatever,
girl,
who cares?
We're not the people for that.
I'm not, because not a Star Warsian whatever. But as you're walking through the queue area to get to the ride, first, like, you're in this rocky kind of cave, and then you're seeing their supplies and their, like, uniforms and different things. So as you're walking, because, it's a long line. Yeah. But there's things to see and do.
Which I love.
And this is my favorite thing of this one. They built into the rocks in the cave places to sit down.
Oh my God.
And I'm all, oh my God, I love you. Because these lines are long and it's tiresome. And if you're standing in line for an hour, 2 hours, whatever, which as a rule I will not do. But if you have to, you're going to need some place to sit down. Because you're standing on that hard concrete surface and you get exhausted.
I think that they should do more things like that. Like, you know anything about the Indiana Jones ride? You also wait for a long-ass time, and how there are plenty of places where they could have, like, carved seats into something.
Yes,
or
absolutely.
There's boxes and shit, like, I think maybe that's, like, one of the next phases of, theme park kind of rides and stuff, because, like, that's a part of accessibility, right? You need, like, wide things, you need things for thicker people, you need people to be able to sit down because they can't walk or stand for very long. I just hit the mic. I'm so sorry. But yeah.
It's our own ASMR.
I know, Mom. Click, click. But yeah, so I just think that's the next phase, right? Like trying to be more inclusive and accessible for all types of bodies.
Which really Disney is really pretty good about.
Yeah, right.
There are other parks, you know who you are, Magic Mountain,
Universal,
Knott's Berry Farm, Universal, who are like, oh, we don't see fat people, so you don't get to ride the rides.
What are fat people?
What are fat people, and why are they coming here? They're ruining our look.
Oh my god.
But Disney is pretty good about being inclusive. I have never found a Disney ride that I couldn't ride in. I've found a couple that are like a pretty tight squeeze.
Right.
And I'm all, okay, well, that's not the best, but whatever. But still, I couldn't ride hardly anything at Universal. Because I was like, I can't do any of the Harry Potter rides.
That's irritating.
Because for you to go to Hogwarts, you have to be skinny.
Oh my god, that's fucking disrespectful.
It's the rules.
Let me tell you though.
You can't be fat and go to Hogwarts.
I can't.
Because you can magically thinize yourself.
I can't. I can't believe that. There were big people. Hagrid was half giant.
Right, but he didn't want to ride the ride. Well, the one thing is, one of the rides is Hagrid. Something about Hagrid, I don't remember. But
and they're like only little people.
Because I didn't get to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Bitter, party of one. But, yeah, one of the is like Hagrid. It's the, what is the hippogriff? Hagrid's hippogriff? Something, I don't know. I could be just making the whole thing up.
Okay,
but either way, it's like, you have to be, you can be no bigger than this to ride that. And I was like, rude. And then they have the seats where you can, the tester seats outside the ride. Where usually you'll find people sitting and resting.
Yeah.
And so when you need to be the fat ass who tests the tester seat, you have to ask someone to move, and then they're watching you to go, but you ain't going to fit in that seat. Mm-hmm. You can't ride this ride, girl.
How disrespectful.
Look at the size of your ass. You ain't riding in this ride.
Honestly, girl, I would just be like, everyone turn around.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
Don't
right? Exactly.
Me. You know, on the Star Wars subject.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to talk about this because it is all part of our, you know, kind of toxic culture right now. The fourth movie, which was actually episode 1, right?
Yeah.
Came out in 1999. The little boy who played Anakin Skywalker stopped doing movies because of that movie. Well, mostly actually because of the fan base. Because he did that movie, people hated it. Mm-hmm. And somehow that was the fault of this little, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, however old he was, a little boy. And he got hate mail. Mm-hmm. Tons and tons and tons of hate mail. He's a little boy. Mm-hmm. Do you think he wrote, directed, or did anything else other than read his lines?
No, girl.
I mean, come on. Did Natalie Portman get hate mail? I doubt it.
I mean, maybe some, but not enough.
She didn't care.
Well, and talk about Jar Jar Binks, I told you that actor. Just the actor who voiced him.
Mr. Binks.
Mr. Binks got a lot of hate. Got death threats.
Binks?
Thackeray
Binks.
Binks. Yeah.
Jar Jar's older brother.
He's a cat. Much older brother, because that's like in the past and Jar Jar's in the future. Girl, it's confusing.
Well, so it's his like 12th great grandfather.
Yeah,
was a cat,
but that.
So yeah, I remember you telling me that he got all kinds of hate and death threats and whatever. It's like, death threats. People, pull your head out of your collective asses. This is an actor.
Yeah, he's not.
If you were mad at anybody, why weren't you mad at George Lucas?
I feel like people were.
But why would you go for the people who are just paid to play these parts?
I know. And it wasn't like that. I mean, I get now, like in retrospect, because I'm an adult, and seeing Jar Jar Binks, the character, I get how it could be problematic, right? Very step and fetch it. Very how he spoke, whatever. But as a kid, I just thought he was like sweet. And I just like thought he was a cute character. For people to be so pressed about things like that. Like, Star Wars isn't that deep of a franchise, y'all. Like, you don't like it.
Oh, boy, here comes the hate mail.
Oh, bitch, send it to me. I will tell you all day and every fucking day that Star Wars is bullshit, good versus evil trash. When, like, things like Star Trek are about, like, exploration and inclusivity and learning and being better people. But Star Wars is all, pew pew, I'm good, you're evil. It's stupid. Star Wars is fucking stupid.
Okay, here's my only thing I'm going to say about that. Is Carrie Fisher. That's all. Because Carrie Fisher, who I worship.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, R.I.P.
No. Listen.
But even she makes fun of her role in Harry Potter. She's suddenly in Harry Potter.
Girl. But listen,
Star Wars.
There are aspects to Star Wars that are fine. But if we're going to rank it on some sort of like gray epic, it isn't. It really isn't. It is so basic. And it's boring. And it is just like good versus evil. It's every... like Western, honestly. It's like a space Western. It's literally what it is.
It's Harry Potter in space.
Girl, for real. But like Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, love her, honestly. The Ewoks, love the Ewoks about them. Jar Jar Binks, Baby so Yoda. There are things that I did like about it, but like that's not enough for me to be a fan. I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Well, considering that the first 3 movies were fine.
Sure.
They're cute.
Yeah.
I mean, I was never the one to be like, I'm going to go watch that 27 times. No, it's not my thing. The second 3 movies, which are technically the first 3 movies, which doesn't make any sense.
There's prequels.
Why would you put out episodes 4, 5, 6 first, and then episodes 1, 2, 3? That doesn't make sense.
I love that you're confused by that. You're like a movie buff, and they do prequel shit all the time.
I know,
like every movie.
But it doesn't make sense that the very first one released is episode 4.
Well, but were the ones that are technically the first 3 already written? You know what I mean? Like, were they already, or did they decide to make prequels later?
No, this was all how it was supposed to be. I mean, it took a long time to make them, but he had it all. Yeah, but.
I don't really know.
What I was going to say is the second batch of movies, 1, 2, and 3, are garbage. Yeah. They are terrible, and they are
listen,
panned even by the people who love.
Look, there are 3 things that are my favorite thing about. Well, I mean, other than Jar Jar Binks, Princess Amidala, because who doesn't love Natalie Portman?
Love her,
stunning. She's stunning
love
in it.
Her.
Hayden Christensen, because I used to think he was.
Which one's he?
He's the one who becomes Darth Vader. He's
okay.
He's Anakin. He's Annika. And then, who else did I love? That man who was red and black with the horns, Darth Maul. I remember seeing him being like, excuse me. I'm attracted to you.
I'm attracted to you, weird devil-like
alien
creature. Weird.
I was talking about it at work because I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, I was talking to a friend who said that he wishes he could be more like a Gomez Adams, but he's like tall and lanky, so he's more like Lurch. And I said, Lurch was hot. I think Lurch could have got it. You know what I mean? And I said, but this is coming from the bitch. This is coming from the bitch who thinks
Plus,
like
he didn't talk a lot. So
I mean,
that's always
and
good.
he just grunted, like, sir, excuse me. But like as a kid, we've talked about this before during our like horror movie podcast that I was attracted to monsters, like big beefy monster men. I was like, what? And they're supposed to be the villain. I'm like.
Well, and the actor who played Lurch really was. I mean, they weren't like making
He's
him
like
look
6'10" or something.
He was very
huge.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know that I ever saw him in anything else, but he was a big dude.
He was, yeah. So yeah, anyway, whatever.
But if you're going to strive for someone, Gomez Adams is a good person to strive for. Because he adores his wife.
Eternally. I want you to know, that same person I said, I compare literally all men to Gomez Adams. That simple. If your partner doesn't treat you the way Gomez Adams treats Morticia, toodaloo bitch. Like, what? Excuse me, what? He's literally the ideal man. When people are like, you know, you're right, not all men would treat me this way because Gomez Adams would never fucking treat me this way, is how I feel, right? Like, I think he's perfect. He's a perfect, sweet little man.
Okay.
And he loves his wife, and they're fun, and they're spooky.
He does love his wife.
And they can dance. Ugh. And he throws knives. I'm about it.
All right. If you could stop banging on the table for just a moment.
No.
Because, good Lord. You know, when I listen to this, I as I've mentioned before, I always, you know, a few days later, we'll go back and listen to our pod because we don't edit it at all. No. As you would know by the fact that and I say we, but I mean me because I'm the one in control of the computer, have made some pretty funny mistakes.
Oh, you mean like not recording the first half of it last time?
Well, it's more like the first third. But I will go through and listen to it and be like, what is all that racket? It's Annika over there banging on the table.
Look, it's ASMR.
What are you, like one of the housewives?
First of all,
the table?
First of all,
prostitution,
I'm adding exclamation. And if people don't like it, they can fuck off. You know what I mean?
How dare.
All of our tens of listeners.
Right. You've just probably offended one of our 10 listeners.
Girl, if they're offended by that, they haven't been listening.
I know. You're not paying attention if that's what offends you.
Yep. It's often because of this podcast, and I say things that I'm like, well, that's probably radical in some people's opinion. I now just tell people, well, I have a very radical opinion, but I think everyone should be able to eat food.
That is pretty radical.
Everyone should be able to live in a house. Huh.
What?
I know. I think everyone should be taken care of, and everyone's like,
how socialist are you?
Well, who's going to pay for it? Shut the fuck up, you mother.
You know, it's funny when I was thinking about doing this show today, I thought, you know what would be fun? is because I've been watching one of the people I watch on the YouTubes. Sometimes she does these little for her Patreon channel.
Yeah.
Does like a little game night with her friends where they'll have like the cards like we have the conversation starters, but I was thinking it would be so funny, although funny to me, it might not be funny to anybody else, to play heads up with the audience. Because I'm like, I just bought a whole bunch of new decks, and one of them's Harry Potter.
I would love it. Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, we're playing heads up for real?
Just one round.
Just one little
of the Harry Potter heads up.
Why
not?
Are we gonna get like arrested?
Why?
I don't know.
You mean because it's copyrighted?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell it.
Is that how that works? Do we get arrested for using it?
Perhaps. I don't know. Listen, I don't know how anything works. Like I've ever done any investigating into like the laws and things of what the hell we do here. I don't.
We just do it until someone says, "Excuse me, you can't do that."
You ready?
I think so. Wait.
All right.
Okay. I'm scared. Help me! I'm scared. Okay. Can I talk?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So Harry Potter had a big crush on her.
Hermione? No.
No.
Ginny Weasley?
No, she's like his first crush. She's Asian.
Oh, Cho Chang.
Yes. Hermione has this to make it so she can take multiple classes.
Oh, the Time Turner.
Yes. Oh my god, my favorite. She's an evil witch. She has big crazy hair.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yes.
We love her.
Okay, so it's one of the 4 houses, and it's like if your father passed stuff down to you, you would be the...
Legacy?
No. Like if you're gonna get all the things when he dies.
You know what
I'm
me, I do, but
I
I'm
can't help
blanking.
you. And it's the house with this...
Severus Snake.
What's the house called?
God damn! They were the snake house with the snake.
It was
people.
the heir of Slytherin, was what I was trying to get you to say.
Well, clearly that was not working.
You know what? I like that we got 3 of them. We're killing it, y'all.
All right, now it's my turn. You will do better, I'm sure. It's what the Weasleys gave people to make them throw up.
Oh my god, Birdie Lots Beans?
No, they made them.
I don't know.
Because you're...
Oh, vomit.
What's another...
Puke out.
Pass. Just pass. Good Lord. I don't even know how to... What? Skip it, this one. This is terrible. The people who run the bank are what?
Goblins.
Yes. The house... the woman who started the house was Helga.
Hufflepuff.
Yes. The first book is Harry Potter and the...
oh my god. The Sorcerer's Stone.
Yes. It's the store where they had the cabinet that he went into was fixing.
I know, I don't remember.
Oh, time's up.
Look, it's been a minute.
Morgan and Burks.
That's it. I would have.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
If my life was on the line, you would have just had to kill me.
I probably
kill
would
me.
have. I probably should have. I mean,
wow. Okay, we did horrible.
We did do horribly. I thought that we would kill that. I thought
know.
we would ace it. We'd be like, oh my god, I got 20 right.
We couldn't say.
I got 3 right.
I know.
Heir of Slytherin. Oh my god, really?
I know. When a father passes something down, he dies. And you're like, oh, legacy.
Estate manager. I don't know.
That was good. Those good times.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I've read every single book at least 3 times.
Okay, yeah.
Probably 4. And I've seen all of the movies
a number of times.
10 times.
Yeah.
Easily.
At least.
Now, my favorite, and I'll fight y'all if you don't agree with me. My favorite is Luna Lovegood.
Oh.
Because she is just sweet and funny and precious. And I love the fact that she's like, oh yeah, these people, do shitty things to me, but that's okay because, apparently that's how they get their entertainment.
I love her.
But she's like so kind.
I know.
And just quirky. Yeah. And I love her.
And free and airy. I'm about it.
But even though I love Bellatrix Lestrange because she's such a crazy, horrible, evil bitch.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes is when Mrs. Weasley kills her.
Oof, me too. She says,
"Not my daughter, bitch."
I know.
Because she actually said,
"You bitch." Yeah, because she says it in the book and in the movie.
And in the movie, she sure does. And then zap.
Are there any other curse words?
Abracadabra, she's dead.
So
I don't think so. I do believe that is the only one.
So that's interesting. So because Miss Weasley, Molly, uses Avada Kedavra on her.
I don't. I think so.
Because isn't that's like obviously the killing curse? That's like a forbidden.
But they don't. You don't hear what she's doing. You just see her zap her.
I know. So that's interesting. So I do wonder though, because laws, you're not supposed to use these.
But there's war,
right? But you're not supposed to use these things, right? These spells because they're forbidden, and like the one where you can control people and torture people, whatever. But I do wonder in this situation, since she was killing a Death Eater, if it would be fine. If they'd be all
right. You're in a time of war. Mm-hmm. It's kill or be killed. Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
I know.
Well, and that's the question I had for you when we were talking about like the rules of war.
Yeah.
Set down by the Geneva Convention and stuff. It's like rules of war has always seemed like this kind of like, how is that? How do you make people follow? Okay, I'm going to go kill everybody in your town, but I'm going to do it according to the rules.
Yeah, right. Well, it feels like when people are like a fair fight. Like, if you're fighting, what do you mean a fair fight? Are you boxing or wrestling for like competition, or are you fighting somebody in the streets? Because why are you having a fair fight?
Right. Because if you're coming for me, bitch, I am going to do what I can to make this fight be done.
And I'm going to survive.
Right.
Mamma mia.
So there's going to be some clawing, some biting.
Yeah, everyone's like, you can't do it, it's not fair. Bitch, this isn't like a boxing. I'm not Mike Tyson. This isn't a boxing.
It is a boxing.
This is an unboxing.
It's an unboxing match today.
Yes, girl.
So in today's unboxing match, we will have gloves.
I know. So that was always funny to me. But yeah, the rules of war. And like, rules of war are broken all the time. And a lot of times in the States, they're broken. Because how law enforcement treats protesters.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they break rules of war by using tear gas and rubber bullets and shit. Shooting it directly at people.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because when we, 2 years ago, when Portland was having all of the riots and the things, most of the shit they did was illegal.
Yep.
What I, however, loved, and, it's like, it was crazy times, but I loved it when the dads, there was a group of dads that came down there with leaf blowers.
Yep.
And so when the police threw the tear gas and the dads used their leaf blowers and blew it back on the police, I was like, that is brilliant.
Well, and so that's funny because I was going to bring that up. There was protests happening all over, but the protests I think that were happening in Hong Kong were really influential for a lot of protests worldwide because they were smart, because they started to use leaf blowers and everyone would carry umbrellas. And it was like formation in war, like back in like Roman Legion war. There'd be like people in the front with umbrellas facing law enforcement, walking towards them, people with umbrellas up. So they created like a dome. So if they shot like cannon or like the little canisters of like tear gas or tear gas or whatever, it would bounce off. So it wouldn't even come near them. So they're just protecting themselves from like the projectiles, and people are using leaf blowers to like just clear this path so that people can make more progress.
I think that's genius.
I fucking like use what you have, like fight back.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things where people were like, well, that's not right. People are blah, blah, blah. It was like, and the people who were doing the most bitching about what was happening downtown were the people who wouldn't go downtown if their life depended on it. And they're like, well, it's not even safe to go downtown. When was the last time you were downtown?
Oh my God.
Please. When was the last time you were downtown? Stupid. And I will say I was a little surprised because I had forgotten that one of the big statues that was downtown was removed during all of this. The big elk. Yeah. It was removed. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just in storage now.
They removed it so it would be fine.
Well, it actually got a little damaged, but it was damaged that could be fixed. It was just, it's a big metal sculpture.
Also, do you know the history of that? Because there was like, I guess back early days of Portland, there was the elk statue, and there were two parks, but there was like a men's park and a women's park. And the elk, it's like ass end would be facing the women's park or something, and it had like
rude.
Had testes on it. It was something stupid.
Really?
This is all like alleged Portland history. I read it though when they talked about the removal of it during the protests. But yeah, something like that, something petty and stupid because the men were pissed about something. Which shocking, white men were mad about. Oh no,
that is shocking. I've never heard of white men being mad about stuff.
I heard a man yesterday trying to order something. Not yesterday, days ago. He was trying to order something at a store or at a restaurant, and he was like, do you guys have whatever it is, this pastry? And they're like, yeah, we do. And he's like, okay, well, I was just like really nervous to ask because you've been out of it for days. And I'm like, this poor white man is so fucking afraid to ask if you have a fucking pastry. How oppressed.
I would think that you would be like, because I know when we were talking about Starbucks, I was saying how when I go, if I'm ordering food, I will just ask them, what do you have today?
Yeah.
Because even though it's on their menu, they may be out of it because of all the shortages and whatnot, which I don't get pressed about. It's just like, well, which thing can I choose from?
Yeah.
You know, and if they say, well, we have everything, cool beans.
Yep.
Actually, if they say they have everything, it's harder for me because I'm like, oh God, there's too many choices.
Danger. Yeah.
But I just asked, do you have everything? Or what do you have?
Yeah.
And it's like, because I know for a fact that there is not a single person inside that store who has anything to do with the shortages and what they get. They get what they get.
And what I love the most, too, is people get real irritated. Like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that specific thing, or we're out of that component to make that drink. People are like, oh, are you serious? Like, bitch, calm the fuck down.
You know, I was bored today, and I thought I just wanted to fuck with you specifically.
Okay, tell me.
You know.
I've never done this, but I've known it to happen. People will say, oh, no, we don't have that. And we absolutely do. They just don't want to give it to them because that person's a dick or they're rude. You know what I mean? Like,
I do know.
And I want you to know.
I get that.
I want you to know if you're the person who's going through a drive-thru or into like any sort of like quicker change restaurants, like fast food or a Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, and you want to be shitty to people, you're an idiot. You understand you're an idiot. Not that people are like poisoning you or anything, but like they're making your fucking food.
Should.
I want you to know that I've worked in San Francisco and Los Angeles, both at Starbucks, and I've seen some horrible fucking things. When I was like a little baby barista, like, this is what you do to people. But like, you fuck around, girl. And the worst thing, well, most basic thing they're gonna do to you is probably give you decaf. So order all the shots you want.
I love that.
Order every shot you want. Every single one of them will be decaf, girl. I don't give a shit. And like, again, I don't do it because I can't, but like people have done it, and I've been in places and establishments.
Because coffee is your religion, so.
But I mean, I'm not going to lose my job for being stupid. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Look, I've seen it, and people are stupid. Like, why are you going to come in and talk shit to people that who are making the thing that you're going to consume? That's what I want to know. Any place, a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, I don't understand, because to me, I would feel like, oh, they could fuck my shit up.
Well, yeah.
And that's gross to me.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Every bit of that. And I know for me that what we have been, training our children since they were very tiny, that you are kind and respectful to servers. You don't just go, oh, I want a burger or whatever. You say, may I please?
Yep.
And it's like, I have actually heard parents say to their children, you don't have to say please to them. It's their job.
Nope, absolutely not.
And it's like, you don't have to, but it's just common decency. It's like when I order at the drive-up window, wherever, Starbucks, wherever I am, I always say please. And when they give it to me, I always say thank you. Yeah. Now, I will say, here's the one thing about Starbucks that they could stop doing and I'd be really happy about. It's just trying to have a conversation with me at the drive-thru.
Girl, scream this from the rooftops. I want you to know. Scream it from the rooftops, because one of the directives from Starbucks is like customer connection, right? And where you get surveys, people randomly will get surveys if you go to Starbucks stores, and it'll be for that store specifically, and it'll ask you a bunch of questions. One of the questions is, did your barista go above and beyond to connect with you? That is one of the questions that we're gauged on.
Right.
And I want you to know, more often than not, I get that reaction from what you just said. I would prefer if you didn't. I prefer that you didn't, like, one, talk to me incessantly. I prefer, two, that you didn't make bullshit conversation. And like,
I hate it.
It's fake and it's not real. But Starbucks is like, but that's the only way we're going to get people.
Wait
to
a minute,
come back.
it's fake and not real?
Yeah, they're just so you know, in case it wasn't clear. But Starbucks, that's the way that they think people are going to come back. But I don't know if they realize people don't like to talk to anyone.
Oh my god! So we had to take a little break because Walmart. I order groceries from Walmart. Ordered them yesterday. On the app, it said they would be here yesterday between 4 and 5. Well, when by 8 o'clock they weren't here, and it still says, oh, they're on their way. From where?
Yeah.
Walmart is literally 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
And so I got on their little contact us. The guy who I'm speaking to, who I'm fairly certain was a real person, said things to me like, how can I help you today, my kind customer? Well, you're starting with kind before you know if I'm a kind customer.
Yeah,
I
girl.
might be a total Karen. I'm not. I try very hard to not be. But after a very lengthy conversation, he cancels the order, and then gives me a $10 little code thing.
Thank you so
for
much
my next order. He's like, sorry for the inconvenience, and then signs off. Whatever. He's like, but it's all canceled. The order's canceled. Don't worry about it.
It's canceled.
Well, then when I got home from taking the children to school, there was an order of groceries sitting on my porch, and I was like, well, I reordered the groceries, but they're not supposed to be here till 11. So I now have 2 full orders of groceries that are all this exact same thing. Well, this one has a couple other things added to it.
Yeah.
But I'm all really
Like I said,
Walmart.
you know where I live, girl.
And so I'm going to be, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be getting on the horn with them going,
get on the
listen,
horn.
I'm going to get on my bugle.
Call Mr.
I'm
Walmart.
going to call Mr. Wall.
Wally Mart.
Sam Wall.
I'm just saying, if it's really a burden,
I know.
I can totally help you.
But the burden is, you better not make me pay for 2 orders of groceries when you said you canceled one. Because that's $200. And I'm like, no.
That's stupid.
Nar. Listen, what we were actually, here's how this usually goes.
Yeah.
Our pod.
Yeah.
What usually happens is a day or 2 prior, Annika will text me and say, what are we talking about this week? And I'll be like, I don't know. And then we'll come up with some topic, and then we'll both do a little bit of research or whatever, and we'll figure out kind of what we talk about. And then plus all the other little random shit that we want to talk about at the beginning. This week, that did not happen. This week, she comes over here at 10 o'clock to start the pod like we do every week, and I'm not here. I'm on my way home because shopping took longer than I thought. I went to the beauty supply. I had to get stuff to be beautiful.
Blah, blah, blah.
And she's like, what even are we talking about? And I was like, yeah, we didn't have that conversation this week. So what I was thinking we should talk about, and I've been thinking about it for a couple of days, is body modification.
Yeah.
And what inspired me to even talk about this was, have you seen Gwen Stefani lately?
No.
Look up a current picture. Well, her and Madonna. Gwen Stefani's face no longer looks like cute little Gwen Stefani.
Ew.
She now looks like she's carved out of cream cheese. She is so plastic looking. Now, Gwen is 50-something. Is like 51, 52. I don't know. She's in her early 50s. And has already had a little filler, a little Botox, a little whatever. But now, I don't know what she's done. Because she looks weird.
That?
Yes, she's starting to look like...
the cat lady.
The cat lady. She's starting to look like Jocelyn Wildenstein. It's like, why would you do that to your face?
Whoa.
You're a beautiful woman, and it's like...
She just looks intense.
I get... it's like everyone has the right to do whatever they want to their body. That's fine. If you want to change your body, change your body. I don't care. But if you're a famous person and you've changed your face so much that you don't look like you anymore, I think that's problematic. And maybe it's just problematic for me.
I mean, this is kind of grainy, but...
Oh, yeah.
It's like vastly different.
Yeah, with the high, really big cheekbones that look like the fenders off a 54 Buick. I mean, it's too much.
She was already pretty, so I don't understand.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, why is she... I mean, again, do what you want.
And Madonna right now, oh my God. When I saw the pictures of Madonna, I was like, is she like the love child of Pete Burns and Marilyn Manson?
Mm-hmm. Pete Manson.
Pete Manson. Meet Pete Manson.
Everybody, please welcome to the stage, Pete Manson.
And if you don't know who Pete Burns was, God rest his soul, he was the lead singer of Dead or Alive. And then he went from being this very attractive man to being this very scary lady.
Oh, mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and I'm saying he because he never changed gender. Mm-hmm. He never referred to himself as anything other than he and Pete. And, he had a wife and kids. But he looked very female. Very female presenting. But then he just got weird, stranger and stranger looking with the giant cheeks and the giant lips. Until literally one day his lips exploded.
Oh, God, that's so nuts.
And I'm like, wait, how? They put so much filler in it that he went home and his lips lip burst open, and he almost died because he got such nasty infections and stuff. It's like, but was that the end of it for him? Was that the last? No, that wasn't even the end of the plastic surgery for him. So, so that's kind of what inspired me. And so, body modification. Annika, since you are our educated one, you're going to give us the actual definition of body mod.
Because she educated.
Because she educated.
Because
she's a smart one. She goes to college.
Mm-hmm. Your mom goes to college. Anyway.
Get your own Todds.
So body modification, this says body modification is the deliberate altering of the human anatomy or human physical appearance. And I think that should be the end of the definition. I think if you are, is a deliberate altering of the human anatomy or human physical appearance, I think that is the perfect definition for body modification.
Well, it kind of says it all.
But it includes skin tattooing, socially acceptable decoration, religious rites of passage, scarification, piercings, implants, tongue splitting. People who get plastic surgery, their faces, their boobs, their bodies. I would say, any kind of dermal implant, any type of piercing, skin tattoo. But I also think, like, people who have things amputated or scarification or...
People who have things amputated, like, because they have to or because they
want. Mm-hmm.
What would you have amputated?
So there was this guy...
I mean, I know, obviously, people have things removed. Like, I know men who had to have breasts removed.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're talking about.
No, but like different parts of your body, it does happen if you can find a doctor who will do it. But like people have like their hands removed, people have their ears removed, shit like that.
Why would you have your hands removed,
sister?
How do you function with no hands?
Like this?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I didn't say that it was like for me. I just said that.
Oh, and by the way, if you're expecting this conversation to be judgment free, then you're on the wrong podcast.
Well, first of all,
this bitch is a judgy bitch.
And here's what I'm gonna say. I don't give a fuck what you do with your body.
No,
you know what I mean. But here's what I'm also.
I'm going to talk about it.
Here's what I'm gonna say. If you didn't want people to talk about it, then you wouldn't have done it. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean because here was my first lesson in that. Mm-hmm. When I was 18. Okay. I still lived with my mother in Carlton, population 2, and actually, technically, it's population like 1,200, so it's close to
big,
2. Close to 2. Anyway, and she came home from work one day, and my hair was fuchsia. It was beautiful. It was not what I was intending.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to dye my hair this color from Miss Clairol, I think it was called Sparkling Sherry. And I had colored, it was just red. It was this lovely shade of red. And I had done it before. And for some reason, I don't know if I got a bad batch or I was just a dumb bitch. I don't know. But I did the exact same method. I did everything and my hair turned fuchsia.
Hell yeah.
And I was all, oh boy. And I looked in the mirror and then initially I was just like, what the hell? My hair is fuchsia. But after looking at it for a few minutes, I'm like, cool.
Girl, my hair is fuchsia.
My hair is fuchsia. Don't nobody else have fuchsia hair? It is 1980.
No one can say shit to me.
Right. And so my mother gets home and she's like, I need you to go to the store. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not walking into uptown Carlton. Yeah, uptown.
Uptown?
2 blocks away.
Because there's a downtown?
There's a downtown Julie Brown. And so I was all, people are going to be mean to me. They're going to stare at me. And she goes, well, then you shouldn't have done it. And she said, listen to me. Anything you do to make people stare at you, anything you do that's going to draw attention, you can't be mad then because they're staring at you. And that is a little piece of wisdom that I've taken through my whole life. And I know that there are people who disagree with that. But if you have tattoos, if you have kooky colored hair, if you have kooky shaped hair like you have spikes or whatever, people are going to look at you. Now, if people say hateful shit, that's all different. Yeah. But if people are looking at you, you can't be mad because people are looking at you.
I remember because I remember being raised by grandma and, you know, wanting to wear things that were not usually worn in Carlton, right? Or being like too goth or too whatever it was.
Right.
And I remember her saying, like, of course you can wear it. You can wear whatever you want. She was like, but not everyone's going to like it. And people are going to have their own opinions about it. But if you're okay with that, then you can wear whatever you want. But, like, the same thing. You don't get to wear something or do something and be mad that people look at you for it.
Right.
And I was like,
well, when you're in a town of people who all wear 501s and sweatshirts, and you're wearing bondage pants, they're gonna look at you.
I mean,
because I know that you did love a pair of bondage pants, girl.
I sure fucking did.
I know, a little crop top and some bondage pants.
And people were like, "What is this person wearing?" And, like bracelets up to my elbow and spikes on the other arm.
And
what? And I'm like, and
what?
This is my farmer look.
All right, so body modification for you personally. I know, obviously, you have tattoos.
Yeah.
How many tattoos do you have?
My foot, my calf, back of my neck, behind my ear, my side, my finger, my wrists, joint tap, a couple on my arm. 12, 13, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably my favorite body mod.
And now, you haven't done any other body modification other than tattoos?
Piercings, girl.
Well, do piercings count? Because you can take them out and they'll close sometimes.
Yeah, technically they're part of body modification.
Okay, and so for you that was your ears and your snake bites?
I've had my snake bites, my mid-row, so like the top of my lip. I've had my septum pierced. I've had both sides of my nose pierced.
I forgot that you had your septum pierced.
I had my industrial, I had my ears, I had my tragus.
God, I forgot about that.
So
you had a lot of piercings.
I had a lot of piercings, yeah. Mm-hmm. I really liked it. I just kind of fell out with it. There are piercings now that I think, like, oh, I'd be okay having that again. But it's just like, there are things that I think are really ugly, and sorry if anyone has these, but I think eyebrow piercings are ugly. I always have. Ever since a little kid, I just thought they were stupid looking, and I don't know why. I think it looks dumb.
The ones that I just look at and think, why, is like if the back of your neck is, you have a bar through the back. It just creeps me out because I know it's like, you're going to catch that on something and rip it out of your neck.
Dermal piercings, the ones where it's just like one little gem, freak me the fuck out. And they always have. And I have friends who have them. Heather Rachel has had dermal piercings. Love you, Heather Rachel.
Hi, Heather Rachel.
But they've stressed me out, and they get infected really bad or quickly, easily. They get you can rip them out. They can get caught on shit. They get no. I can't handle it. Dermal piercings just stress me out.
I know for me it's like piercings and tattoos. That's all I've had done. No matter what anyone says, everything else is all real.
Except your nose.
I mean, changing hair color, but that's not permanent. So I guess
that's not technically body mod.
But you were talking about dermal piercings. One time, 19-ish years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know. I was the MC for the erotica show.
Okay.
And fun, loved it, had a great time, got virtually naked on stage. Don't care. Here's where I had a problem, and I had to actually have my co-host take over, and I turned my back, was when they did dermal piercings on someone and then suspended them
Girl.
from them. Because if that's what you're into, and I have friends who are into that and cool, I can't watch it because it makes me want to vomit. And it's not because I think what you're doing is gross. I think it's terrifying.
It's like body horror, and I can't handle it either. And it does happen in like indigenous, like some tribes, they also do suspension, which it honestly hurts my feelings. It makes me feel physically like I'm going to cry.
Right. The only suspension I'm interested in is the suspension of disbelief, because this can't. Well, and it just, to me, I don't care if they say it isn't painful. I'm sure it is, because they're putting a hook through your body. Come on. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
Or don't.
Find it, or don't, because you will never unsee it. No. But I mean, for me, I think over my life of, these many years, I have considered other body modifications. Like I've considered getting breast implants.
Sure.
And I have considered, at some point when I look old, maybe having a little filler.
Yeah.
But the other things I thought of, like, because I remember when I was younger, the thing was to get like an actual full facelift.
Yeah.
And the idea of that to me now is so horrific.
Scary. I know.
That it's like, if you're going to freshen up with a little bit of filler or something, whatever.
Cute.
But don't go crazy. Don't go crazy like Miss Gwen Stefani and look it up.
That is
because she looks insane.
My retirement plan, girl, is just going to be filler and some, just Botox and filler, girl. Give me all of that and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just numb my face.
Because I look at people who are older and who don't look scary, but obviously have had stuff done.
Yeah.
Like Lily Tomlin.
I love Lily Tomlin.
She's 857 years old.
Queen.
And she still looks amazing.
Yes.
I mean, because she's kept it kind of...
I think she looks better, to be honest. I think Lily Tomlin now looks better than she's ever looked. That's just my personal opinion.
I think she's 84.
Yeah.
84, 85.
Yeah.
Now, Jane Fonda...
Stop it.
Has had a little too much, I think.
I think you need to watch your mouth.
But I do love that she's now gray.
Oh my god. I also just fucking love Jane Fonda. Okay.
Well, I love that in this age of her life, she's gone back to activism.
Yeah.
And she's been arrested now multiple times.
I'm about
I love that.
And you know what, though? I remember, I mean, because I've always known who she was, right? But hearing people talk about how much they hated her.
Right, because of Vietnam.
Yeah. And I'm like, I roll, like, well, I'm aligned.
Well, the thing is, here she was very young and very idealistic, and when she went to do this protesting thing that she did in Vietnam, she will now tell you, I was wrong. I misunderstood what was happening. I was given bad information, but believed what I was being told, and so I ended up hurting people who were, our people and whatever. And she's like, and so I'm very, very sorry for that. I did not mean for that to happen. But there are people who will, of course, never let it go. No. Even though she has been very, upfront.
Trying to atone.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, there are still people, there's old people who still call her Hanoi Jane. And it's like, get over it. Get over it. Move past it. And I had a friend who was in Vietnam who hated Jane Fonda. And I was like, dude, she has made all of these apologies, and she seems like, whether you like her or not, her apologies seemed sincere. Yeah. She was like, no, I know I screwed up. I made these following mistakes, whatever. And I realize that's not our topic, but it kind of is because it's Jane Fonda.
And also, we can talk about whatever we want because it's our podcast.
What?
So I don't give a shit.
Right. As Trixie and Conti say, because it's our show and not yours.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about whatever we want.
And that was, like you said, that was Trixie and Katya. We're not trying to steal it. Please don't sue us.
Right. We love them. We
Hell yeah.
them. They have a new book coming out.
Do they?
Yes.
How cute. I still have your other book.
I know you do. I was just going to ask you this morning, did you ever bring my book back?
Y'all, what book?
Anyway, you don't read. I'm going
to bring the Bible over and be like, hired us. Here you go. Start reading it.
All right.
You fucking filthy Jezebel.
Speaking of the Bible.
Oh, no.
Well, no, because it's about our topic. It was interesting to me that one of the people that I grew up with, her family's religion was the apostolic faith. And they're very, very strict.
Yeah.
No makeup. And this may have changed over the years. I don't know. I haven't kept up with it because why? I don't care.
I don't care.
But at the time, they couldn't wear makeup. The girls couldn't even wear jewelry. Mm-hmm. If you got married, you could have a watch.
Oh,
here's your engagement watch because functional, not vanity. Well, but they were okay with you having plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Wait, you can't wear makeup, which changes your appearance
briefly
for the day.
Yep.
But you can go and have someone carve up your face. And
don't be an uggo, okay?
I guess Jesus doesn't want ugly fans.
Jesus doesn't like your fucking
on his
ugly
OnlyFans page.
Beep, boop, 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 boop. Hello, Jesus. She's talking shit again. He's used to it.
I know.
I know. I love that. I just love that condescension that comes straight from your stupid mouth.
How rude.
You're rude. I'm leaving.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. You know why? Because it's time to stop.
Now it's time. And that's all you get from that because we don't have the copyright to that either.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so now it's broken. Can you not use the mouse that's attached to the laptop? Or do you have to use the fucking little pink car mouse that you have that you think is precious?
It's cute.
It is cute. You're right.
It's a little... My mouse for my computer is a little tiny pink car with blue headlights.
Yeah, it's very precious.
And I think from the thing on the side, it's a Fiat. I don't know.
I
don't actually care because I don't know shit about cars. I just thought it was cute.
I don't know shit about shit.
It's pink.
I know, right? How very exciting. Pink is my favorite.
So before we go, though, body modifications, would you?
Would I body modify?
I mean, other than tattoos and
Yeah,
piercings.
sure. I would. Yeah, girl, of course.
I know you said you'd get some filler. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
I don't know. I'm not opposed to plastic surgery. I just don't know what I would technically want right now. Why not? I might not get some boobs. We'll see. I don't know. But I wouldn't want to do anything else. Like, I wouldn't want, like, scarification is cool to me, but I don't really want to be scarred like that. I don't want dermal piercings. I don't want to split my tongue. I don't want, like, under the skin implants. So, no. I think I'm good. You know what I mean? What about you?
There's a queen. Her name is Alexis Stone. And if you know who she is, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So she pulled off this amazing scam, catfishing of the world. She said that she went and had like a shit ton of plastic surgery.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Right? And so she was not seen in public for a year without this scary new face. Mm-hmm. But it was all prosthetics.
I'm obsessed with that.
And so she, every single day that she left her home and every day that she did her stuff online, it was all a full face of prosthetics, which took her hours to get into.
Which is crazy. I wonder how healthy her real skin is, not putting real makeup on your skin.
I imagine now, because gluing on prosthetics is not good for your skin.
Right, but if you're
But she was doing it every freaking day.
Oh, God, I couldn't imagine.
You know, and then after a year, she was like, oh, look, and on live feed, peeled off all of the
How
prosthetics.
horrifying! Could you imagine?
She's like, this isn't really my face. And she had so many people going, you've ruined your face, you're horrible, you're a mess, you're an
ugly cow.
Because everybody, of course, has an opinion.
Yeah, and
which we talked about earlier.
And opinions are always so great. Everyone else's opinion about what you do with your life and body.
Right. I don't care.
Me either.
No.
Opinions are like opinions are like assholes. I don't care.
Right, you have one. You don't have one. I don't
think that's the quote. Opinions are like assholes.
Is it opinions are like assholes and
everyone
you
has
are
one?
one?
They all stink or something.
No. Yes, that is.
Okay, you are one.
You are one. And we gotta go.
I know.
It is time. Annika's got things to do. She's gotta go paint her face. Because her face right now needs some modification.
Excuse me. My face is stunning and
your
I'm
face
glowing.
is beautiful
My skin
and
is
perfect.
hydrated. Thank you.
Oh my God. I was watching Two Broke Girls.
Okay, love that.
And Kat Dennings. Was it Bernie Mac? No. Yes. No. Cedric the Entertainer. I'm like, one of the comedians anyway, he comes into the restaurant and the other girl, the white girl, she's all, oh, is this your dad? And she goes, yes, because my mother is chalk. Anyhow, on that note, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
If you want to send us emails, please do.
Yeah.
We'll read them, and we'll probably read them on the pod, live. So, that's my salon. I almost said the name of my salon. A Touch of Vanity. That's not it. That's where I work.
It would seem as though
at gmail.com. What has happened here? We've gone crazy. We've lost our minds.
I'm leaving.
All right.
Just kidding. Okay, bye. I love you so much, all of you.
Bye.
It would seem as though